Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Auto Club Speedway here in Fontana, California, where tonight, round number 2 of the Blacktop Rivalz season for 2020-2021 is ready to fire off, and we are so thrilled to have you on board with the coverage here tonight. And we also need to send a big shout out as we had some great news this week, as we have got a season sponsor for the Blacktop Rivalz series, and that is Caldecott Millwright Services. If you've got any needs, contact Caldecott Millwright Services, the official sponsor of the Blacktop Rivalz series. Cars are rolling out on onto the racetrack, and we are getting ready to take the green flag for 80 long laps here at the Auto Club Speedway. Claude Furland, Tom Senchek are going to bring us away from the front row here tonight. Jeff Cote, Mannix Richet will line up in row number 2. Kyle Rochelle, John Schweikart will make up row 3. Sylvan Jolie and Jason Metcalf will make up row 4. Your top 10 starters tonight will be Jason Metcalf and Will LaRue. You'll see the rest of the field start to work their way across the top of your screen throughout tonight's race. And at lap number 40, if we haven't had a yellow right before then, we will have a competition caution right around the halfway mark. These guys will be making pit stops before then, but you get stage points there at lap number 40. Claude Furland, Tom Senchek bringing us to the green flag off of turn number 4. Round number 2 of the Blacktop Rivalz series, brought to you by Caldecott Millwright Services, is green. Yeah, baby. Watch them from turn number 3 as they race into your living room down the back straightaway, and it's Claude Furland with the early race lead. The Accent LED sponsored 43 ride, but he's got a car behind him in that 8 car of Tom Senchek. As you get a great look overhead, and Senchek is looking for the lead off of turn number 4. Who will lead lap number 1 by a bumper? It is Furland. So Claude Furland leads lap number 1 here at Auto Club, but he only will lead lap number 1 as here comes Tom Senchek. Senchek down to the bottom, and he will take over the race lead down the back straightaway. You'll remember Senchek probably feels like Auto Club Speedway owes him one. You might remember our race from last season when he ran out of gas while leading late in the race, trying to pick up his first ever Blacktop Rivalz race victory. Can he do it tonight? We've got 78 laps to figure it out as Senchek will lead lap number 2. Look at this battle behind him though for third on back, as you have got Kyle Rochelle, Jeff Cote, and John Schweikart doing battle there through turns 1 and 2. Rochelle will take over position number 3. That'll drop kick Cote back to 4th, and now he's trying to hold off Schweikart, last week's race winner from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, as he will move into 4th. That puts Cote back to 5th, and now he will fall into the clutches of Mannix Richet. The Accent LED sponsor number 6. Rides in position number 6 as they haul it off, and what a view you've got here from the roof cam of Richet as they bring it down off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Senchek and Furland have pulled out to a good distance out in front, and right now here comes John Schweikart, who didn't have the best qualifying effort tonight. Qualified 6th fastest, and if you know anything about that Schweikart car and the LaRue Esports team, they expect to qualify up front and to finish up front. Last week, Schweikart qualified in position number 5. He would end up winning the race, and here he goes going after Rochelle for position number 3. So give third to John Schweikart. Boy, Schweikart really had to chase it up the hill that time, though. Coming off a 2. Trying to carry a little bit of momentum, but it allowed Rochelle to stay right tight with him here. Into turn 3, then it's Cote and Richer. Sylvan Jolie running in 7th, Metcalf running 8th, Callum McNichol 9th, Will LaRue your top 10. Couple of guys doing battle here behind them. That looks like Metcalf in the 29, I believe. Yeah, Callum McNichol just picking off a spot there, running just behind Sylvan Jolie. McNichol got the spot away from Jason Metcalf that time off of turn number 4. Guys trying to log some laps here early. Again, 80 laps the distance for tonight's race. And we expect multiple pit stops over the course of this 80 laps. Competition caution coming around lap number 40 at the halfway mark. Top 10 in the running order at that lap 40 break will get stage points. Five-tenths of a second the lead for Tom Senchek as we watch the battle here between Jeff Cote and Mannix Richer. Richer trying to break into the top 5 after starting 4th and falling back to 6th. Trying to get back into the top 5 here. And it looks like Richer will do so on the entrance to turn number 3. So Richer cracks back into the top 5 one more time. Taking a look out the back of Jeff Cote's 17. Just ahead of these guys, Kyle Rochelle was able to get back by John Schweikart for position. So Schweikart was able to get as high as 3rd, but just lost that spot again to Rochelle. Got a couple of guys really dicing it up for position here, just outside of the top 10. Will LaRue, Frank Guerry Jr. in the 24 of Michael Liguori really putting on a good show here. Guerry just got by the 24 of Liguori. And now he's going to go after Will LaRue in the 55. Schweikart just there we go. We've got Liguori there. Guerry pushed up a little high off of turn 2, and here comes Liguori down to the bottom. Will LaRue right now holding on to the 10th spot, but behind him he's got Liguori, Frank Guerry Jr., and old Jimmy Jams. Jim Smith Jr. in the 12, and his teammate Kevin Ridley behind him. And Will LaRue right now running 10th. We're used to seeing that 55 just a little bit closer to the front of the pack. As Schweikart's been able to make some moves, but you'll notice Will LaRue in several of these races, he really has a good car toward the end of a run. You saw it last week at Las Vegas where Schweikart was able to really jump out in a short run, and the car handling would kind of go away on him throughout the course of a run, where Will LaRue was just the opposite, him and teammate Alex LeVay, who we do not have in competition here tonight. LaRue really stretches it out over the course of a run and really turns it on strong in the second half of a fuel run. So Will LaRue, the LaRue Esports Can-Am sponsored 55, breaking it off of turn number 2. Good battle back up front here. This is Schweikart going after Rochelle one more time. And Schweikart takes it down to the bottom, and he's going to try and bring Richer with him. Oh, Richer had to chase it up the hill. Had to crack the... Oh, look out, Rochelle's in the wall there off of turn number 4. Oh, boy. Not something you want to have happen this early in the race, and he's got a little bit of damage there on the right-hand side of that car. Still well up to speed, though.
this G-Force TV block.
So we are working lap number 12, or coming across the line this time to put lap number 12 on the board, and it is Tom Senchek, Claude Ferland, John Schweikart, Mannix Richey, and Kyle Rochelle right there in the top 5 as we watch Rochelle here into turn number 1. Richey just got by Schweikart there for position number 3. As they work down the back straightaway, Schweikart pulling right up to the back bumper of Richey into the 3rd turn. Meanwhile, Tom Senchek has stretched it out to 0.7 of a second, the lead here. And let's take a look here at Rochelle as he got into the wall off of turn 4. Right there, got into the wall. You saw the sparks flying off the side of the race car. And as soon as he made contact, he wanted to get tucked right back into line to not lose the draft, as we got a car slow there off of turn number 2. Senchek just drove by, and it's Jody Cuse in the 4. Cuse making his first start of the season here with the Blacktop Rivalz Series aboard car number 4. He's got heavy damage on that car, trying to blend back into traffic. Senchek will bring it across the line here to put lap number 14 on the board. So we are 14 laps in to this 80-lap affair here at the Auto Club Speedway. Claude Ferland led lap number 1, but it's been all Tom Senchek ever since. We should be approaching pit stops here coming soon. Our first pit stop of the night, I expect that to come in the next 5 to 8 laps here. And our first pit stop of the night may come under the green flag, and it's always interesting to see what guys do here, especially on a green flag pit stop where everybody's really stretched out. Who comes in early? Who tries to pull what Alex Labbe did last week, trying to come in a lap or 2 earlier than the rest of the field? Whether it's trying to make up a little bit of ground or trying to take over the race lead as Labbe did last weekend. But it's Senchek down the back straightaway. The Budweiser Widow Jane sponsored number 8. As right now we've got a live look here at Sylvain Joly in the 08 going after Kyle Rochelle for position number 5. We've got our eyes on your race leader. We've got our eyes here on the battle for position number 5. That's 5, 6, and 7 up on the left top hand side of your screen. Joly, the XNLED sponsored 08, going after Rochelle here. And look at Joly, able to keep it right down on that white line all the way through the corner. You have to wonder if there was a little bit of an effect on Rochelle's car after the contact with the wall in turn number 4. He may be just trying to hold on here. But here comes Tom Senchek. 17 laps go on the board. A great look here from the front straightaway here at the Auto Club Speedway, and that battle for 5th is really heating up there. You saw him come across your screen, and now Joly down to the bottom and makes the move on Rochelle. Sylvain Joly cracks the top 5 for the first time tonight, but Rochelle not done. Tried the crossover off of turn 2. Now right on the back bumper, drafting Joly down the back straightaway to turn 3. Will Rochelle try to make a move? No, he will not. He will tuck into line. Jeff Cote just behind them aboard car number 17. And look at Michael Ligori, the hard charger of the race here so far. Ligori started 14th. He's now up to 7th. As we have got cars that are getting ready to hit the pit lane here. It looks like John Schweikart was the first one to do so. So we will keep our eyes here on Tom Senchek, your race leader. Last time by, 1.2 seconds the advantage for Senchek. He now knows that some of the race leaders have made their way down the pit lane. Senchek will not come this time. He will stay on the racetrack. And now you see some of those cars there in the top 5 getting ready to hit the pit lane. That's Rochelle in the 01, and boy, he had to get on the binders hard. Not to speed on the entrance to pit road. Michael Lagori right behind him. Coming down pit road, first pit stop of the night. 55 miles an hour, the pit speed limit here at the Auto Club Speedway. Steve Ovens here with the call for you tonight for the Blacktop Rivals. Round number 2 presented by Caldemet Mill Writing Services. Oh, your race leader, Senchek! He misses the pit road. He slides to a spin. He's going to try and whip it back around. And now he's got cars coming in front of him here on the pit lane. Drama here on lap number 21. So Tom Senchek trying to hit the binders to come down pit road, and a critical mistake. Entering pit lane here on it's lap number 20 as he crosses the line. First pit stop of the night. Senchek's got plenty of time to try and come back from this first pit stop error. He's now got to hit the pit box, and he will do so. But a costly mistake here. We'll see how it shakes out. He did have a pretty decent lead coming into this pit stop, but we have got drama here 25% of the way into tonight's race. Senchek, 4 tires, fuel, he's down and away. That handed the lead of the race over to Claude Ferland, and now Steve Arvesay will take over the race lead. So Arvesay aboard the Discount Tire sponsor number 1. He will be shown as your race leader. And boy, it will be interesting to see how it all shakes out here. As now Arvesay continues with the race lead. Claude Ferland running in second. John Schweikart is third. Banix Richer fourth. Jeff Cote, your top 5. Arvesay has not hit the pit road yet, so right now this is the battle for what would be the race lead after Arvesay hits pit lane. And Arvesay has hit the pit road, so your race leader comes down pit lane, 55 miles an hour all the way to his pit box, and you cannot overshoot the pit. You've got to hit your pit box just perfect, or they'll make you go forward or put it in reverse if you don't hit it just perfect. Arvesay, boy, what a job. Hit it right on the money. Coming down for his pit stop. Looks like it's going to be 4 tires and fuel here for Arvesay, and that's going to hand the lead of the race over to Claude Ferland. When Ferland comes back around, is right now Arvesay getting ready to exit the pit lane. Ferland and Schweikart are coming into turns 3 and 4. And if you want to know just how costly a pit mistake that was for Tom Senchek, he came down the pit road as your race leader. He will come back around and will probably cycle out in position 10 or 11. A huge error here. And I don't want to overstate that too much, but Senchek was the dominant car in the first quarter of this race tonight, leading 19 of the first 20 laps. And now he is going to have a long road to hoe aboard that 8 machine. So Claude Ferland will assume the race lead here as the pit stops cycle around. He was able to get by Arvesay. Arvesay will fall back to position number 15 following his pit stop. So to reset the top 5 for you here as we ride on board with Senchek in the 8. We'll reset the top 5. Claude Ferland, your race leader, the Accent LED, number 43, bringing it off of turn number 2. Second, 1.1 seconds behind him, aboard car number 9 tonight is John Schweikart, the LaRue Esports sponsored ride, and he has got company. Schweikart has got company in car number 6, Banix Richer. Richer started 4th in tonight's field, fell back as far as 6th, and has now clawed his way back up to 3rd, and he is putting on a great challenge here with Schweikart, as Schweikart got a little loosey-goosey off of turn 4 that time. Richer pokes the nose down to the bottom. Boy, Schweikart may have even got a piece of the concrete there going into turn 1, as that car was all had a case of the wiggles in the back end. So Schweikart will slide back to 3. Jeff Cote aboard the 17, running in position number 4. You'll remember he had a top 5 finish with us last week, but he has got company. Michael Ligori aboard car number 24, taking it down to the inside, the HendrickCars.com sponsored ride. He'll sling it down to the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Ligori started 14th, and right now he's going after position number 4. And man, look how Ligori's able to hook that bottom. And he will take over the spot here at the line. Cote tried the crossover. Ligori slammed the door shut. And Ligori will hold on to that spot going into turn number 1. So as you ride, look out the back bumper here of Ligori. Here comes Cote. Wow, Cote made a run to the outside. He's going to try and cross him up here, coming off of turn 4. Going to try and get back underneath him and get his back end loose on Ligori. Couldn't quite make it work. Cote looking down to the bottom, cannot make a move. As right now we take a look on the left-hand side of your screen, I believe that's Senchek in the 8. No, excuse me, that's Cote in the 17. So you see the difference in lines right now. And Brad, I want to bring Brad in here. Michael Ligori doing something that a lot of cars we haven't seen be able to do tonight, and that's really hook and rip the bottom all the way around the corner.
Yeah, that really is a fast way around the big sweeping ovals, a lot like Las Vegas last week. You know, if you can really keep your car on the bottom there, if you've got a good handling car, doesn't want to push up, you can really get that momentum swing going, and you don't really have to play the throttle and break the momentum as much to keep it on the bottom there like that. Ligori's got a really good strong car. I believe he's on the so he could be a contender here with about 10 laps to go to halfway.
So Ligori will hold on to that spot over Cote right now. Cote running in 5th. Frank Wary just behind him, just behind Cote. Just got passed by Tom Senchek, so Senchek takes over 6th. And look at him going after Jeff Cote. Tom Senchek driving with purpose here on our second fuel run of the night. And he takes over position number 5 with authority going into turn number 1. And now look at Senchek as they cross the line here to put lap number 30 in the books. And Senchek going after Ligori, and he'll take the spot into turn number 1. Boy, Ligori with that big wide arc almost lost another spot there to Cote. But Tom Senchek making a run through the field. He's already up to position number 4. But they are a good 7.5 to 8 seconds behind John Schweikart aboard the 9, who runs in position number 3. But what a battle going on here. Cote is not done with Ligori yet, and this is the battle for 5th right now. It's really fun to watch these guys move all around the corners. That's one of the things you gotta love about Auto Club Speedway. I personally think it's going to be a shame that they're going to change the configuration of this racetrack. Because yes, it's a 2-mile oval. Yes, it's got the tri-oval on the front straightaway. But man, these guys can race all over this racetrack. to make passes and make for good racing. But hey, who doesn't love short track racing? That's going to be a lot of fun too. Getting a peek here at Claude Ferland aboard the 43-year race leader, 31 laps in the books. Now put 32 on the board. And Mannix Richet has chiseled the lead for Ferland all the way down to 9/10 of a second. As you ride on board here with Richet down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Richet can see Ferland out through the front of the race car. 7,000 RPMs as they come off at turn 4. Let's see where he gets to as he gets ready to head down into turn number 1. Up to 8,000. He's going to go north of that going into turn 1, just about 8,200 RPMs as Richet dives down into turn number 1. And Richet's got to be real comfortable with where he's at right now, running in second, off to a good start here. We've still got at least 2 pit stops left to go. And surprisingly enough, we have not had a single yellow flag, and I don't certainly want to put a hex or a curse on the field here by saying that. But it's been a very clean race here to start. Have not had a single yellow flag since the drop of the green just after 9:10 p.m. tonight. Glad that you've joined us here on GeForce TV tonight for round number 2 of the Blacktop Rivalz Series, brought to you by Caldecott Millwrighting Services. Caldecott Millwright Services, our new sponsor here for the Blacktop Rivalz Series, our title sponsor. We're happy to have them on board. Right now, you're looking at Michael Ligori in the 24, running 5th. Cote has fallen back just a little ways, running in position number 6. Will LaRue, Kyle Rochelle, Frank Wary, Kevin Ridley right now rounding out the top 10. We were talking about Mannix Richet closing the gap. Well, that gap has widened a lot. 9/10 of a second has now grown to 1.5 seconds for Claude Ferland. So Richet, who fired off really well, seems to be losing ground here the later we get into this run. And we're going to start to come up on our second pit stop of the night. So as Claude Ferland leads here on lap number 36, we'll get ready for our second round of pit stops of the night. And why don't we step aside here and get some words in from some of our great sponsors here with GeForce TV and the Rivalz Blacktop Series. And when we come back, second round of pit stops coming at you from the Auto Club Speedway.
This GeForce TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Hawk Performance brake pads. From street pads to race compounds, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back to the Auto Club Speedway, round number 2 of the Blacktop Rivalz Series. Brought to you by Caldecott Millwrighting Services. 3-9 Productions, in conjunction with GeForce TV, bringing you a live video and sound here from the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Claude Ferland shown as your race leader as we come up on lap number 39 this time. Next time around will be lap number 40. And as soon as the top 10 cars cross the line, we will hit our competition caution, our first caution flag of this race, as we have gone green flag laps all the way through the first half of this race. And Claude Ferland, 1.8 seconds the advantage as we get ready to bring it to the competition caution. Coming up this lap as Ferland will come down to the line and put lap number 40 on the board. Ferland, you'll remember, led lap number 1. He then lost the lead until the round of pit stops, took it back somewhere around lap 22, 23, as the driver on your left-hand side of your screen, Tom Senchek, had a miscue entering pit lane. He led 19 of the first 20 laps of the race. And he has clawed his way from 11th all the way back to 4th. And now he's going to get that life preserver with the competition caution coming here on lap number 40. Caution lights are on for the first time of this race, and it comes at the race's halfway mark. So we will see wholesale pit stops this time. And Brad, as we get ready for our second round of pit stops, and right now take a look at your screen. This is the miscue that we talked about. Senchek coming into pit lane a little too hot. The back end came around on him, and he had to get it turned back around, almost clipped a couple of cars coming by. And that move right there saw him go from the race leader to position number 11. He got all the way back to 4th, Brad, here as we get ready for pit stops. I've been thoroughly impressed with Senchek's recovery.
Yeah, Tom's really got a good car underneath him tonight to make a comeback as strong as he has. He's really, it's really hard when you get in a single car to try and run these guys down. The big track the Auto Club is, the draft is definitely a factor. The dirty air off the other cars. We've been hitting some lap traffic, which is definitely going to play a part.
Absolutely it will. Claude Ferland, your race leader, first car to hit the pit road as they bring it down the pit lane, 55 miles an hour, all the way down pit road. Ferland, who started the race from the pole position here. Blacktop Rivals, presented by Caldecott Mill Riding Services, second pit stop of the night. Let's see how they do. Ferland hits the pit lane, and it's going to be 4 tires and fuel for just about everybody. I would be very surprised if we see anybody go with 2 tires here. I think these are all going to be 4-tire pit stops. And Ferland, no surprise, he will win the race off of pit road. Ferland, followed by Mannix Richey, Dale Cote, who I believe Dale Cote had to have played some strategy there to get up to position number 3 coming off of pit lane. We will go and take a look. But Claude Ferland, your race leader. And the scoring will reset around here. As we saw Cote come down the pit lane, and I'm not sure if maybe Cote is a lap down now, or the first car or the last car on the lead lap. But he was on pit road just before all the leaders were, so I believe he must have been right on the tail end of the lead lap, may have had some damage to repair. Yeah, so Cote will be a lap down there. I think he was on the lead lap when he hit pit road, but then the leaders all got by there. So Claude Ferland, your race leader. Mannix Richey running in 2. Tom Senchek now, after the pit stop, will be in position number 3. Michael Liguori, Frank Wary Jr., your top 5. So the cranker now breaks into the top 5. Lights are off on the pace car. Let's see if we can get a word here with Tom Senchek before we go back to green. And Tom, what a recovery, man. I know that that's not what you wanted to see on that first pit stop, but what a recovery it's been.
Yeah, I knew you were going to bring it up. I'm glad we're back in third, though. See what we can do here.
That car was super strong coming up back through the pack here. Even though you were on the comeback trail, it's got to give you some confidence here going through stage number 2 here.
Yes, sir. I feel like we got the car to beat, so we're actually going green right now, so I'll talk to you a little bit.
All right, man, do it to it.
Thanks, man.
All right, Tom Senchek, get ready here for this restart. It's going to be Claude Ferland. You got the teammates, Claude Ferland, Mannix Richet up on the front row. Coming back to the green flag this time is the iRacing flagger. He is ready to go, and he's about to wave the crap out of that green flag. Pace car pulls off of the racetrack in turn number 4. Green lights are back on. We're back underway. So the teammates playing nice here into turn number 1. As Ferland takes the race lead, Richet running 2. But Richet moving up the racetrack, and that opens up the door for Tom Senchek. Senchek down to the bottom as they're 3 and 4 wide behind him. Ligori had a problem in turns 1 and 2. And now Senchek down underneath the 6 of Richet and moves Senchek up to P2. Boy, look at the back end of that car. Wanted to come around on him. He lost a little bit of momentum there off of turn number 4. As we've got a look at the battle back here with the 29 of Jason Metcalf, racing with Jeff Cote and Michael Ligori. Meanwhile, Richet was able to get back by Senchek. Senchek there on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, going after Richet here to turn number 3. So they'll try and do it one more time here. And Senchek will take the lead. Will it stick off of turn 4 this time? Yes, it will. So Senchek up to P2. And now he will set his sights on Claude Ferland. These guys battled on the opening lap of this race. As Ferland. And let's take a look here at what happened to Michael Ligori right there in the 24. Little bit of contact on the back bumper there from Kyle Rochelle. It sent Ligori up the racetrack, and look at everybody. Juking and jiving, looking for running room, and Ligori even pushed up higher going into turn 3, and look at him. Just drop an anchor through turns 3 and 4. He probably lost 10 spots there from turn 1 to turn 4. Boy, he lost a lot of ground. That's a tough break for him, as right now Ligori will be shown in 7th, so obviously he didn't lose 10 spots, but it sure looked it. And now here comes Tom Senchek, poking the nose down to the inside, battle for the race lead into turn 3. It'll be interesting to see how much of a fight Ferland puts up right now, and it doesn't look like he'll put up much of a fight. As Senchek will take the race lead, and he will race off into clean air down the front straightaway. And boy, is that important here on these 2-mile ovals. So Senchek, what a recovery. Missed pit lane on the first pit stop of the night on lap number 20. And now you get to look out the front end of the 43 of Ferland as he looks out at Senchek just ahead. Senchek already pulled out to 2.5 tenths of a second lead after taking the lead off of 4. Ferland and Richet running in 2 and 3. Kyle Rochelle, Frank Guerri 3rd and 4th and 5th. 4 tenths of a second now for Senchek. And now let's pick up the battle here. Just behind Frank Guerri Jr., the 113. He's got Jason Metcalf just behind him. John Schweikart, Michael Ligori, Sylvain Joly, all of them right there together. I'm not just exactly sure what happened to Sylvain Joly, but Joly is a lap down to the field right now. Currently the first car a lap down. And we've got a yellow flag. Yellow flag is out. Our second yellow of the night coming out on lap number 49. Now make it lap 50 as Senchek crosses the line. So while the field gets ready to catch up to the iRacing pace car, we'll step aside and we'll pay a few bills, and when we come back, more live racing with the Blacktop Rivalz Series presented by Caldecott Millwrighting Services. We'll be right back.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him, that he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps, to tech liner for your truck bed, to bump step, to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Koni shock absorbers. From street shocks to adjustable race dampers and even truck shocks, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca.
Welcome back, and oh boy, that's going to be close, but I think Senchek beat Claude Furland off the pit lane. And I gotta say, I'm a little surprised. I did not expect these guys to come down pit road this early. I mean, we're probably going to go back green with somewhere around 25 laps to go. Maybe they can make it this far. Let's take a look here. I think we're going to get a look at what put us under the yellow flag. Oh, Cote in the 17 just lost it off of turn 2. Looked like the back end come out from underneath him as he was racing there with Jim Smith Jr. in the 12. And the back end comes around. Brad, I'm going to bring Brad Ovens, our executive producer, in with us. And Brad, this is something that you've talked to me about, running pavement all the time. It's so easy to overcook it coming off the corner, not going in the corner.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing you really want to be careful of with these. You see the back of Senchek's car here. There's not a lot of spoiler. These cars don't have spoilers like the Cup Series cars do. A lot of drivers in the Xfinity Series today saying the Xfinity cars are some of the hardest cars of the 3 top touring series to drive, and it's so easy to push that line just to want to try and get more out of the car than what the car is actually giving you. And unfortunately, once you cross that line, it's really hard to get back across it.
Brad, are you surprised to see these guys pit? I mean, we're going to have at least 25 laps or more left to go. They've been running 20-lap fuel runs. Are these guys banking on another yellow?
I don't think any race you really want to bank on a yellow. If you really put your strategy in hands of having or needing that yellow flag to fly, you're really putting yourself at a big risk. I think it's just more of a fact of anytime you can get fresh rubber, fresh Goodyears on the car, fill the car up with fuel. The fuel load, the rubber, or the new tires on the car will really dramatically affect the handling of a race car. And like in Cote's case, a full fuel cell may have helped him there.
Well, we're getting ready to bring them back to green this time off of turn 4. I was just taking a look at Tom Senchek's in-car camera, and he has not been saving fuel here on this yellow flag. So either they think they can make it the rest of the way, or or they also think that we're still going to have to stop again. We will find out. Green flag is back out here at the Auto Club Speedway. 27 laps to go, and Tom Senchek, your race leader to turn number 1. Claude Ferland, Mannix Richet, look at the cranker. Frank Guerry Jr. up to position number 4, racing here with the 9 of John Schweikart, the 01 of Kyle Rochelle. Schweikart taking a peek down to the inside, getting a little bit of a draft there from Rochelle. As Guerry going to try and make a wide arc, and it didn't pay off for him there. As Schweikart will get by, Rochelle will get by, and here comes Jason Metcalf. Metcalf down to the inside. He's going to pull up on the bumper of Rochelle as they will all get by Guerry in the 113. Coming up next for Guerry is going to be the 12 of Jim Smith Jr. Jamal, as the race team calls him, the KSGR Racing number 12. As now Guerry trying the crossover here on Jason Metcalf down the back straightaway. Guerry in that Chevy Camaro 113 down to the inside. Trying to hug that white line as it starts to drift on him just a little bit as he gets ready to bring it off of turn number 4. Good race here for position number 6. Behind them, they're side by side. Will LaRue and Jim Smith Jr. And also here, taking a look on the upper left-hand side of your screen, we'll monitor the race between Kyle Rochelle and Metcalf. Oh, Metcalf! Oh, that's why Guerry got underneath him. Metcalf got the back end out from underneath him. So that was what set Guerry up to try and make a run. Couldn't get by. He'll tuck back in the line and try it again, as he is going after Metcalf. And look at Metcalf. Left side tires underneath the white line. And now that's going to give Guerry a run off of turn 4. Will LaRue just behind them in your picture in the 55.
Yeah, and Steven, getting those left side tires under that white line. It doesn't look like there's a lot of banking here, but that transition from the apron to the banking of the corner, you don't want to get those left sides down there too much, or you're going to see a lot more of what Metcalf had, and that's a loose race car coming off the corner.
Yellow flag is out, Brad. 56 laps on the board, and our third caution of the night will come out. I'm not a huge fan of that term, cautions breed cautions, but that's certainly what seems to be happening here in the last stage of this race. And if these guys were in a concern for fuel, I certainly think that that's got to go out the window now, as they will make their way to catch up to the iRacing pace car. Tom Senchek, your race leader. Claude Ferland in the 43 running second. Mannix Richet third. John Schweikart fourth. Kyle Rochelle rounds out your top 5. Frank Guerry, Jason Metcalf, Will LaRue, Jim Smith Jr., Sylvan Jolie round out your top 10 as they catch up to the iRacing Ford Mustang pace car. Taking a look at what put us under the yellow flag here, let's take a peek. And Adam Ross in the AdamOutThere.com 35. Looks like he had what happened to him, what happened to Cote. Except for Ross, it came off of turn number 4. Cote, it happened to him off of turn 2. And Brad, your leader's coming back down pit road. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So they only put 4 or 5 laps on these tires. And I know fresh tires are always what you want to have on the race car, but I think this worked right into everybody's pit strategy in terms of fuel, because now fuel will not be a concern and you're going to have fresh tires. The question will be, is anybody going to roll the dice? I don't think anybody will.
Yeah, at this point, 4 tires are so important here. You've got such an advantage having 4 tires. I can't imagine anybody would want to take 2 tires here. And you'll be able to load the car up full of fuel. You'll be able to make the last 18 laps here under green to the checkered, as we see a lot of guys taking 4 tires here. Tom Senchek winning the race off the pit road.
Yeah, Senchek wins the race off of pit road, 4 tires and fuel. And for Senchek, I don't want to say it too early, but my goodness, Brad, Senchek has finished second. I don't want to say the word lost, but you know, when you talk, you know, and compare racing to stick and ball sports, Senchek has lost races in just about every which way you can here with the Blacktop Rivalz series. And the running joke that we've had here with 3-9 Productions and Senchek has always been, the champagne's always been on ice. It's just never been taken to victory lane for Senchek's number 8. Could tonight be the night for him? He wins the race off of pit road, but it looks like we've got a couple of cars who did indeed stay on the racetrack, although I believe those cars will be wave around cars. And that is just exactly what seems to be happening here. Callum McNichol will get a lap back, as will Rob Shaw, as will Donovan Price. So that will put Tom Senchek back at the front of the pack here aboard the 8 machine. And now, Brad, if we dial up the onboard camera with Senchek, you see him down on the flat part of the racetrack, and he is right now trying to not overuse any of that fuel that's in the tank. You'll remember he lost a race here at Auto Club Speedway on fuel, and he's not taking any chances. He's probably got it down in the 4th gear right now, trying to use just the least amount of fuel he needs to get around the racetrack. Under caution right now. Lights are off on the Ford Mustang pace car. And boy, it is go time right now for this field as they get doubled up here, getting ready to come back to the restart. Tom Senchek aboard car number 8, Claude Ferland, the 43. The 2 dominant cars of this race will restart on the front row. Mannix Richey, John Schweikart, row 2, Kyle Rochelle, Frank Wary, row 3. Coming to the green flag, into the restart box, and we are back underway. 20 laps to go, 2-0. Left for Tom Senchek. Can he pull off a miracle here tonight and finally break into Rivalz Blacktop victory lane? We'll find out together here in 20 more laps. Meanwhile, John Schweikart is taking to the whip on the high side off of turn number 2 as he will get by Mannix Richey, and he's going after Ferland in the 43. Schweikart is running the top 5 all race long, but this is the first time we're talking about him battling in the top 3 and looking for the race lead here if he can get by Ferland for second. So Schweikart, your winner from Las Vegas Motor Speedway last Tuesday night, looking to start off the Blacktop Rivalz Series in a big way with 2 great points nights. As he really hangs it off of turn 2. Take a look at the left-hand side of the screen. We will watch the replay of the restart here for Schweikart. And Schweikart, boy, he got such a good run on that outside lane and really kept Richey down to the bottom, and it allowed Schweikart to carry the momentum through the middle of the racetrack. And he was able to clear Richey with ease off of turn 2. So racing down the back, racing off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. It's Senchek, Ferland, Schweikart, Richey, and Frank Wary Jr. right now running inside of the top 5. Great run for the 113 tonight. Now you take a look out the back of the 9 of Schweikart. Here comes Mannix Richey. Richey, the XN LED sponsored number 6, takes it to the middle lane into turn Schweikart gets the run off of turn 2, but look at the momentum Richer has off the top side of turn 2 and down the long back straightaway. Got to the back bumper, but couldn't really do anything with it. 0.3 of a second was the lead for Tom Senchek last time by. He'll come down to the line to put lap 64 on the board. We'll see what the lead is this time. Ferland still just about 3.5 of a second behind Senchek. Boy, Ferland has been so good, but right now Senchek is able to hug that white line all the way around the racetrack, and that is really... Oh, one car into the wall there off of turn 2. That may have been Frank Wary in the 113 as he lost a couple of spots. Kyle Rochelle got by, Sylvain Joly got by, as did Will LaRue. $15 laps to go for Tom Senchek, trying to get it done. Let's take a look at the replay here for Frank Wary Jr. See what happened to him in turn number 1. As Rochelle got down to the inside, and boy, Brad, it looked to me like Frankie got the right side tires. I'll use a dirt terminology here. It looked like Frankie got the right side tires over the cushion, if you can get over the cushion here on a blacktop racetrack.
Yeah, Frank's entry into turn 1 that time just got way outside into the marbles, as we'd call it here on the asphalt. You really can't get the car out there that far, because you get the car out there that far, there's not a lot of rubber built up, there's not a lot of grip, and you'll see exactly what happened. The shortest way from point A to B is a straight line, or the shortest way around the racetrack is right around the white line. So Frankie losing a bunch of spots there. Hopefully he can get those tires cleaned back off and get back in the rhythm.
Taking a look at your top 4 cars as they all run within 1 second of each other. 1 second is the distance from your leader Tom Senchek back to Mannix Richer. So still anybody's race here. Right now focusing in on John Schweikart aboard car number 9, the LaRue Esports ride, as he is just 0.2 of a second ahead of Mannix Richer. And it seems like they have been battling for 75% of this race next to each other. They've got magnets in those cars tonight. And look at this battle. Look at this live look behind them. Sylvain Joly, the 08 machine, down underneath Kyle Rochelle. And he is now going to try and bring Will LaRue in the 55 with him. And you see just how important that draft is. Joly was able to bring LaRue with him on the bottom lane using the draft, and then as Joly changed lanes and went to the outside, then all of a sudden Kyle Rochelle was able to pick up a sniff going into turn number 1. So interesting to see how much the draft plays into how these guys race each other and race this racetrack. As LaRue will take it down underneath of Rochelle. Tom Senchek starting to stretch it out just a bit. 0.8 of a second the lead now over Claude Ferland. Ferland draws in to within 0.6 of a second now, but Ferland's got company. Here comes Schweikart in the 9. Schweikart trying to make a late race run here to get up into the runner-up spot. He wants to get the lead, but if you want to go to the lead, you got to get to second first. Listen to him burp that throttle down on the bottom lane, trying to keep the grip up as best he can. 10 laps to go for Tom Senchek. As you watch Schweikart trying to close in here on Ferland in the 43. Boy, he's getting right there within a half a car length of the back bumper. And I wonder if maybe a little bit of aero is coming into play here, as Senchek or Schweikart can get just that close, and then it's almost like there's an air bubble there and he can't go any further. As Furlan will try to block the low lane now as they go down the front straightaway, and they have closed in on Senchek. The lead for Senchek over Furlan is now just 0.7 of a second. And here with 9 laps to go, this is the point in the race that drivers fear the most. You start to hear everything in the race car. If anything doesn't sound just exactly right, you start to wonder if you're having a problem. Will the tires hold up? Do I have enough gas? Is the motor gonna hold up? Can I be perfect for 9 more laps? These are all the things running through Tom Senchek's head right now. For a driver who has finished second, I don't know how many times on this Blacktop Rivalz Series, he's never been able to win a race here with the Blacktop Rivalz Series, and he's trying to do it tonight at Auto Club Speedway at a racetrack that stole a win from him in a fuel mileage race last season. All the storylines are just piling up here as we get ready to go here with 8 laps to go. Senchek just trying to be so smooth right now. I'm sure Senchek is willing to give up a 10th or a half a 10th here and there, just trying to be smooth and not make any mistakes here. Coming down to the line to put lap number 73 on the board. 7 laps to go. 14 miles left here for Tom Senchek. Meanwhile, the best thing Senchek can see in his mirror is happening right now, as Schweikart has gone on the attack here on Claude Furlan. Schweikart just going after Furlan here off of turn number 2. He is right in his tire tracks. Pokes the nose out to get a little air on the front end of that car as they dive into turn number 3. Boy, Schweikart really being patient here, trying to wait for the perfect opportunity. And I think Schweikart knows if he pulls out a line too soon, he could take a chance on losing distance to Furlan, maybe lose the draft that he's getting right now. And he's trying to just wait for that perfect opportunity, but while he's doing that, Senchek is extending the lead to 1.1 seconds. If second and third start dicing it up, Mannix Richet is going to be right there with him. As you see the distance on the screen there from first back to second, third, and fourth. Oh, look at the cat and mouse game going on between Furlan and Schweikart right now. Schweikart backed off the gas early, trying to get the run off at turn 4, and it looks like he's got that run. Schweikart with the nose down to the inside. Side by side for second as they come across the line. 5 laps to go here from the Auto Club Speedway. And as Gary Montgomery always used to say, they are driving faster than you do down the freeway, racing closer than you park your car at the grocery store. 4.5 laps to go here for Tom Senchek. And I'll tell you what, Furlan is not done. He got a great run off the outside of turn 2 as he races side by side with John Schweikart, and that's exactly what Senchek wants to see. Clear racetrack behind him. 1.3 seconds. We'll see what it is this time by. Here with 4 to go. And it's now 1.6 seconds for Senchek. Senchek will come up on a lap machine here. As they work through turns 1 and 2, he'll have the lap car ahead of him as they work down the back straightaway. As you see the battle there between Schweikart and the 43 of Furlan. Senchek will get by the lap machine. You see your race leader down on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. We'll keep an eye on Senchek as we watch the battle for second ahead of him, behind him. Oh, Schweikart dipped out to the bottom. He's going to lose a little bit of ground into turn 1, but he's got the preferred line on the bottom. And Schweikart will take over position number 2 with a great move around Furlan, but he wasn't able to pull up in front of him, and Furlan comes right back at him. Tom Senchek says, you boys go right ahead. You battle it out. I'm going to keep a 1.6 second lead here. Coming to the 2-to-go signal. Popsicle sticks in the air. For the Widow Jane, Budweiser sponsored number 8 of Tom Senchek. The champagne has been ice on ice for a season and 2 races. Can we uncork the bottles here tonight? Schweikart down to the inside of Furlan. I can't believe how many laps these guys have been running side by side like this. Just when you think one guy's got the advantage, the other guy comes back on the outside. Schweikart, I thought he had him cleared a lap and a half ago, and here comes Furlan. He will not give up. Furlan, a stubborn mule on that outside lane. Just working it here with Schweikart. But off of turn 4, here comes Tom Senchek. White silk goes in the air. 2 miles to go for Tom Senchek. Senchek swings it down into turn number 1 and down the back straightaway. The Widow Jane sponsored, Budweiser sponsored, number 8, down the back straightaway for the final time. He went an entire season in 2 races without picking up a victory here with the Blacktop Rival Series. He's finished second I don't know how many times. He's lost races in about every which way you can. But it's time to take the champagne bottles off the ice. Tom Senchek, off of turn number 4, is a Blacktop Rival Series winner. Senchek gets the win. Schweikart will come home in second. Claude Furland is third. Mannix Richer fourth. And what a recovery for Will LaRue, who will come home inside the top 5. He has done it. Finally, Tom Senchek is a Blacktop Rivals winner. Boy, I cannot wait to hear what Tom Senchek has to say in Victory Lane, and we will head to Victory Lane after we get these words in from some of our great sponsors. What a finish tonight, and what a celebration it's going to be. Tom Senchek wins here at Auto Club Speedway.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
For all things sprint cars, visit the Ohsweken Speedway Race Source, located on the property of the Ohsweken Speedway. Nobody has more laps or more wins at the Ohsweken Speedway than the Ohsweken Speedway Race Source. Visit them for all of your sprint car parts, accessories, and all your sprint car needs. That's the Ohsweken Speedway Race Source, located on the property of the Ohsweken Speedway. And look at the burnouts. Man, it's been a long time coming for Tom Senchek, who is now a Rivalz Blacktop feature winner. We'll get ready to talk to your top 3 finishers here in just a moment as we continue to take a look at the celebration going on here. My goodness, cannot wait to hear what he's got to say. What a run. We will start with your 3rd place finisher here tonight, Claude Furland, who had such a good effort here tonight. Claude Furland comes home in position number 3, and man, you had a great race tonight. You led a lot of laps, and you ran in the top 2, it seemed like, all night long.
Yes, thank you. The race is very hot. My last change, it's not good. My car is a little bit slowly.
So it was an adjustment there on the last pit stop that kind of put you behind the 8 ball, so to say.
Yes, my last pit, I change. I lose my car a little bit. Finally, it's not good.
Well, man, it certainly wasn't from a lack of effort tonight. A great run tonight to come home third. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, there's Claude Ferland finishing in position number 3. Next up, we're going to bring in your second place finisher tonight, who picked up a big win last weekend. John Schweikart aboard car number 9 tonight. John, man, you and Claude, what a battle you guys put on for the last run of this race. It seemed like you guys were side by side for half that last run.
Yeah, me and Claude have raced together for many years, so we kind of really know how each other races, and it's pretty awesome to put on a battle like that for all your viewers and for you guys. And man, I'm kind of shaking a little bit. I really had to hustle that car around. We missed it big time on the set, and after a bunch of adjustments, it came to life a little bit. But I knew like Mannix and Claude were going to be fast, so that last run I was just digging. And when I saw Claude was slipping, I mean, I had to give it everything I had, and we put on a hell of a battle there.
You really did, and you talk about how you guys had to adjust on your cars to get them better tonight. I'll tell you what was a good indicator of that, not just you running second, but Will LaRue, your teammate, who seemed to be struggling in the back half of the top 10 tonight. Here on this last run, he drives all the way to 5th. So we knew that you guys had made some adjustments to make those cars better.
Adjustments isn't even the right word. I mean, wholesale changes, that comes to mind. We kind of made a last minute throw caution to win right before practice ended, and took like 2 laps, and that does not give you a means, because this competition's so good. It doesn't show you how you're going to be in race. We were just trying to close the gap, and they might have been doing some Q runs. We were just trying to close the gap on speed. And we thought we hit on something, but when we started the race, it seemed like the front end was way up in the air. We dropped the left front tire down, I think it was like 6 pounds, and a bunch of wedge adjustments just to get it to not act like a cheese grater on the right front and seal that splitter up a little bit.
Well, you certainly put a lot of effort into getting into this second place run here tonight. And, you talk about the competition level. Tom Senchek, man, he's been trying to get a win with these guys, and it just shows what the competition level is when it takes you a season and 2 races to get your first win.
Yeah, the competition level here is stout. Everybody's extremely clean, really good drivers throughout the whole field. I mean, you could be racing your guts out for 15th. I mean, that's just how the night goes if you miss it just a little bit. So the good thing is Will and I knew we missed it right off the gate. It just wasn't there. So we started making wholesale changes, and I think we had that. We had just a very few amount of caution. So if we wouldn't have had those, I mean, who knows? But yeah, congrats to him. His camp was extremely fast tonight. They had it dialed in for sure.
Well, a great run for you tonight to finish second. Obviously, a great points night. Tell us about some of the folks that helped make it happen for you.
Yeah, all LaRue Esports, Will, my teammate. That's basically it, man. We work hard, we have a lot of fun, and put together some fast race cars. Occasionally we miss it, but we'll be coming back next week with a vengeance, and we'll maybe look forward to getting him a win.
Well, man, for a night that you guys missed it, I'd take a 2nd and a 5th and run tonight. Great job.
Hey, thanks, guys, and good job on the broadcast.
There's John Schweikart finishing in position number 2, and it is official. The corks have been released on the champagne bottles. Tom Senchek, welcome to Blacktop Rivalz Victory Lane. How good does that sound?
It sounds great. I want the Dom Perignon. I want the Veuve Clicquot. I want the Cristal. I want the Perrier Jouet. Have it all waiting. because I'm gonna drink all of it.
Well, I'll tell you what, after your drive tonight, man, you deserve it. I
Thank
want to
you.
go back and I promise I won't I won't, stick forever on the beginning of the race, but I just have to ask now that we see you here in Victory Lane tonight,
Mhm.
the first pit stop of the night, the
I
back end comes out from underneath you. Did you think the race was over at that point?
No. If I had contact, I thought it would have been over, but since it was in the beginning of the race and we still had the competition caution and we still had 20 laps to go, I was figuring hopefully I can make it at least up to 6 before the competition caution. But we made it up to 4th, and once I knew we were at 4th and I knew we had the strongest car, even though Schweikart and Claude had great cars and Mannix had great cars, I thought that if I could get past them early and get that fresh air, we could definitely keep it going, because 3 and 4 were my strong suits tonight. I wish 1 and 2 were just like 3 and 4, but I feel like I could just power away from people in there. But yeah, very happy with that.
Man, you could hook the bottom. It seemed like nobody else could tonight. Was that the difference for you, just being able to run, right around that white line?
Yeah, I knew people were going to be terrified and think that I was dive bombing them, but for some reason my right just hooked that. I think it's gradually banked, so I think my right just hooked that a little bit better than everybody else, and I never came up. I never drifted up into anybody like I think they thought I was going to. But I was very confident in what my car could do, and the setup was not so great at the beginning of the week, but it was good tonight.
Just to give the viewers at home that are watching tonight an indication, what, in terms of hours, you say that the setup wasn't that great the beginning of the week. How much time are these guys investing in tuning that setup? I mean, I think it's important to highlight the fact that the competition level here with this series, this isn't just a jump in the car and take the iRacing setup and go after it. These guys are putting a lot of time into these setups to come out and put on the show that they do.
They sure are. Let me ask you a question. Do you remember last year or a couple months back when I ran out of gas 1 lap to go? This is the same exact setup, but like tweaked, because the patches and the updates and stuff don't allow a few things here and there. So all we did was lower some stuff, lowered the springs a little bit, give me a little bit more drive off with some softer springs. So it was almost the same setup as last time, just with the necessary switches that would make it not fail when we go through inspection.
The other question I have about this race in particular was, we got a caution right around lap 50, 52 maybe.
Mhm.
And I thought, man, there's no way these guys are going to be able to stretch it. They've been running about 20 laps on fuel. So tell me about that. Was it just being able to put fresh tires on to come down there on lap 50?
Well, the difference between Cup cars and Xfinity cars is, in my opinion, the tires wear a lot faster in the Xfinity cars. I guess it's because of the lower downforce. You could you slide it a little bit more, but I was coming if it was over 2 laps on green or 3 laps, I was coming every single time. I was really relieved when I saw Claude follow me and the other guys followed me behind, because I didn't really want to have to drive through that again, even though I think I might have been able to with a little bit fresher tires. But what I was really worried about was gas. At the end right there, I was letting off. I knew I had about a second and a half on the people behind me, but I was letting off halfway through the straightaway, letting off early, because my crew chief was telling me we were really, 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 really close. And I think that was the case for everybody. I actually ran out of gas doing those donuts in the front right there. So,
wow.
Yeah, the cautions, I was going to come at least just to get gas because of how valuable gas is. It might even be more valuable than tires here.
Gotcha. Hey, you're coming down. You got 2 laps to go. What's going through your mind? You've been so close so many times. I can't imagine what you must have been thinking.
Well, there was 3 things. Don't run out of gas, which I was kind of confident towards the end that I wasn't going to do again. I was hoping there wasn't going to be a caution, because that would have probably brought everybody down to pit lane, maybe, or some guys would have stayed out. And the third thing I was hoping was for Claude and John to just keep on fighting back there, because as soon as they got side to side, I was able to let off a little bit more to save some gas, without really losing any track position or anything like that.
What does this win mean personally to you?
That was like the Super Bowl. I mean, you know how far back it goes. popping champagne. I already did my victory shot of whiskey, some Widow Jane, like on the side of the car. It means a lot because I've been racing in this league for a little bit over a year now, and I'm just thankful that they had me back, and I'm thankful that I was able to get into victory lane tonight.
Well, man, you did a great job, and it's been a lot of fun to follow your progress. You've had so many good runs, and we don't have favorites in the announcers booth, but I got to say, this is one of those races, and I think a lot of drivers would agree that to see you pull off a win tonight, it's one of those deals where if I can't win the race, I sure wouldn't be upset to see Tom Senchak.
Well, I really, really appreciate that. I know you guys can't take sides, but it means a lot to me to hear you say that because we both know it's been a long time coming.
It absolutely has, man. Congratulations. And guess what, man? You get to celebrate for 6 more days. Congratulations.
I'm going to go pop it right now.
All right, there you go. Tom Senchak, ladies and gentlemen, a Blacktop Rivals race winner. Man, you love first-time winners. I don't care if you're at your local dirt track or if you're, on one of the top 3 series in NASCAR. A first-time winner, it doesn't get any better than that. What a great job by Tom Senchak to finally get the monkey off his back. I mean, that's a gorilla that's been on his shoulders. Man, what a great run for him tonight. What a race. I mean, great competition all the way through the field tonight. And it's Tom Senchak who finds himself on top of the heap. And boy, stopped her right on the start-finish line doing those donuts. On behalf of Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey, Spencer Mullen, and the entire G-Force TV and Rivalz Racing League crew, on behalf of our presenting sponsor here, Caldecott Millwright Services, on behalf of the executive producer of 39 Productions, Brad Ovens, my name is Steve Ovens, the voice of the Blacktop Rivals Series, saying thank you for joining us and congratulations to first-time winner Tom Senchak.
Introducing GeForce TV. GeForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GeForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washouican Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GeForce TV is also the new home for Rivalz Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GeForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivalz and GeForce TV racing leagues. GeForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GeForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GeForce TV.
This is a copyrighted production of 39 Productions, www.39designcompany.com, and may not be rebroadcast, replicated, or saved in any media without the explicit written permission of 39 Productions. The opinions expressed in this programming are those of the host, co-host, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of the management and/or ownership of either 39 Productions, the advertisers, or our marketing partners.